Alright guys, welcome back to Stampede RC. My name is Ted. This is my MPH Slash 4x4 GT. I have mounted the Delta Plastic FC100 1/7 scale to my 1/8 scale Slash. I ordered a 1/7 scale, I ordered a 1/8 scale several months ago. What I got in the mail was not it, so I ran it. I don't know what it was. I ran it for a few days, but didn't like it. Really don't want to know what it was. Went back to the website, couldn't find it on there anymore. I ordered this one for my Limitless, but I bought some new batteries, bought some Onyx batteries, and I wanted a taller, wider body so I could try to fit those big 6S packs in here. So I took the 1/7 scale and cut it down to fit my Slash. Turned out pretty nice. I believe it's going to be a good body. Had a made custom mount, mounts to mount it with, which is not unexpected. Just got it painted day before yesterday. Let's take a look at it. And I do have some armor mounts up front that come off my Limitless. They came in handy on this build. So you gotta use what you can. And here it is, 1721 XLX2 stock chassis, custom made rear body mount, custom made front body mount, armor standoffs. Made my own battery trays. I had some and they worked great, but they were not wide enough to lay down the China Hobby Line 6S batteries, and I wanted to lay them down to keep the center of gravity low, keep it a little bit more stable. So I made my own, made these little spacers to drop it down even further for body clearance for the Onyx batteries. Have not had a chance to really run those yet. Gonna push these China Hobby Lines to see if I can hit 170 with those, and then I'll start running the Onyx batteries. I do have Revo shocks, 80 weight oil front and back, stock diffs with 1/2 mil front and back. I do have a gyro on it. Some people think you put a gyro on it, it just steers itself, which is bull. What it does do, it will give you enough time to catch it if the back end is trying to pass the front end. It's set low. It's only on like 15 or 18%. I guess it's percent. I don't know. I do also have a perfect pass here. It helps with the throttle control. And when you make small changes, it'll let you know if the changes actually help. And if, it's not just that you're pulling the trigger differently. So I do like it. It comes in handy. Allows you to have a consistent trigger pull. I do have a custom mount, ESC mount right here that I made myself. It goes all the way across the chassis. Ties into where the Nerf bars would. I don't know if you can see, there's some little aluminum spacers right here that I made to space it up high enough to clear the drive shaft. It is tied in 4 spots, so it makes it nice and secure. My battery trays are mounted to the ESC mounts and up through the chassis on the rear. 1/4-inch aluminum spacers to drop it down for clearance and better center of gravity. Custom made front bumper for the FC100 body. It's not a whole lot to it. Stock drive shaft in it, MIP drive shafts, stock diffs. It does have ceramic bearings in it. Stock control arms. Real basic setup, but it works great. The rear body mount people have asked about, the rear wing mount. RPM 4x4 slash rear bumper. I cut the ends off, drilled and tapped them for 3mm screws. I did have to make my own little, there they are, own little spacers right here so I can mount them in 3 different spots. Otherwise it's just way too flimsy. I have hot racing front and rear shock tower mounts. It's actually 2 fronts, one on the front, one on the rear. It works good. I still have some issues in the front with some slack, but I've got everything out that I can without actually machining some bolts to get the slack out of the steering mechanism up front. The Slash was never meant to do 100 anything, and the fact that you can get it to go that fast is just awesome. Pretty consistent, 150 something miles an hour. Been 168 once. I believe I can get it to do a consistent 160. I'm hoping to hit 170 this weekend if the rain holds off. As it is a super basic setup. It just all works. The Revo shocks, these little spacers right here, you can get at Lowe's. They're just little nylon spacers, and it's the same spacers right here I have in the shocks. I've got 1 in the rear, 2 up front, just to limit the travel a little bit. If y'all like what you see, please subscribe, share, like, hit me up with any questions. If I've left anything out, I do have an X01 motor mount that I mounted vertically, machined the center of it out some for the drive shaft clearance to go through, drilled and tapped the aluminum motor mount brace right here, bolted it to it, nice and solid. I would love to do a dual motor setup just for fun. I may try to make one. I've got a little CNC mill now. Programming it doesn't seem to be very hard. Maybe because I've done it for about 20 years before I swapped jobs. I was a tool and die maker for 20 years. Programming CNC mills, lathes, EDM machines. So it comes pretty natural for me. That's it. Basic setup. I appreciate y'all watching my videos. Hopefully I'll have some good footage out for tomorrow. Hoping to get at least back up in the 160s tomorrow. 170 would be killer. I've got my other Slash geared up a little bit, hoping to get a little closer to 160 with it. It has a 1717 in it. Running it on 8S. I do have Onyx batteries in it. They are doing very well so far. I really hadn't had the chance to push them like I want yet, but I'm working up to it. Y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. That's what life's for. Peace out. Alright guys, one thing I did forget to mention, the stance. It's got that 1970 stance to it. The rear end is probably I'd say close to 3/4 of an inch higher than the front to keep the front end down. You're going to have some squat, and I do have some silicone tubes mounted in the shocks. You probably can't see it. They're in between the springs there. Probably only about a 1/4 inch worth of travel at the most. I got limits there. I don't know if you can see the front end. Probably not. But there's some tube in there too to limit the travel on it, so it won't come down and drag the chassis or the front of the car. It hits those before that happens. I appreciate y'all watching, and y'all have a good weekend.